What's up guys? I've owned my 2024 Toyota Tundra here for almost a full year, and I've put on about 17,000 miles in that time. In this video, I'm going to talk about my experience over the past 12 months with this truck, things I like, things I don't like, pros, cons, just my overall opinion on this generation of Toyota Tundra versus the last generation, which I did own as well. Hopefully you guys find this video useful and insightful, whether you're looking to upgrade to this generation Tundra from the previous, whether you're interested in the Toyota Tundra in itself, or just looking to gather some data for any other reason. It is finally warming up here in good old Minnesota. My truck is dirty as ever, as you can see. First things first, let's go get a car wash. So it turns out that a good chunk of the town decided it would be a good idea to come to the car wash at this time today. So I'm going to take this opportunity as I'm waiting in line to talk to you guys and share my thoughts about the truck. If you've seen any of my other content, you know a little bit about me, about my truck, the features it has, the things I've done to it. If you haven't and you're new here, welcome aboard. Happy to have you. Like the video, subscribe. I appreciate you guys being here. My truck is a 2024 Toyota Tundra Limited with the TRD Offroad package, as well as the TRD 3-inch lift kit. Color is Lunar Rock. I've done some extras to it. I'll talk about those a little bit later in this video, or you can go check out the other videos on my channel to get a description on each thing that I've done and my thoughts on it. If you haven't seen any good footage of an overview of what my truck looks like, here is a quick clip. Now, I don't know if you guys feel the same way that I do, but every time I watch one of those little montages or just park and look back at my truck, I just love the way that it looks. And I feel like if somebody is enthusiastic about vehicles and wants to love what they drive, after a year of ownership, you should still be looking back after you park and saying, wow, like I love the way that vehicle looks. And I still feel that way. I love the way it looks. I love what I've done to it as far as the wheel and tire setup, steps, other minor modifications. And I'm super happy with it. I wouldn't change anything there, and I do have more stuff in the pipeline as far as upgrades and accessories to come. So first, let's talk about the trim level of truck in itself and the options I selected from Toyota. The limited trim has absolutely everything I could ask for. Now, I do have the top limited package, so there was not a higher option that I could add to the limited package without going into the platinum or 1794 trims. If you're interested in seeing an overview of all the features, I have a pretty good video on my channel of when I first got the truck of walking through all the features, and I've also talked about things that I love in a couple other videos on the channel as far as initial pros and cons that I observed when owning this truck in the first few months of ownership. So feel free to check those out. Some of the things that I'm still absolutely loving in this truck, I do love the Softex leather. These front seats look like they're brand new still, and my wife and I have been sitting in this truck for about 17,000 miles in the first year of ownership. I do have a seat cover on the back seat because I do have 2 young kids and 2 Australian Shepherds. So when I do haul them in here and when I have car seats strapped in pretty much full time, I wanted to make sure that I am protecting the back seat. So I don't have a good opinion there as to how the Softex would hold up with dog scratches and car seat indentations and all that, because I do have the protective cover on it. But when I take the cover off, the seats look brand new. So that's something I would recommend, at least if you do have young kids, if you do have dogs, and you want to make sure you're protecting. It doesn't hurt to throw a seat cover back there. There's no heated or cooled seats in the back of the Limited anyway, so it's not mitigating any of those features. And as long as I have my front Softex fully usable and visible, I don't mind the cover in the back. Speaking of the heated and cooled seats and heated steering wheel, it works like a charm. I mean, these things get way hotter than my 2015 Platinum Tundra seats got, faster as well. I'm a big cool seat fan. I know I live in Minnesota, but during the summers, I have those cooled seats on all day long whenever I'm driving. So I love the features there. I've had no problem with any of the AC or heat functioning or vents or anything like that. Everything has worked perfectly, and I've had no issues in the first 12 months of owning this truck. The technology is another piece that I'm still absolutely loving. I mean, this big flat screen I got in the front here is just phenomenal. The wireless CarPlay that allows me to select music, and when the kids are yelling in the back asking to select different songs, I can just go boop, boop on the screen, select a song. I don't have to look at a phone or anything and bring any danger into driving. The Mirror is something that I absolutely love. I do have the virtual camera rear view mirror, and I use that 24/7. So I actually have it flipped on continuously. I never switch back to the normal mirror, and I have absolutely loved having that feature. It's a super good quality camera. If the camera was less good quality, I definitely wouldn't have it on as often, but it's great. Even at night, I can see things so much more clearly, and it allows me to bypass any commotion I have in the back as well with kids and dogs in the rear. So I absolutely love that feature. It works flawlessly, and I've had no issues with that. We're moving up in the line here. 2 more cars to go. So talking a little bit about the space in the interior in itself, it's huge. It's a CrewMax truck. You're going to get the same space in pretty much any truck you go with, right? I've had no issues with the level of space in here. We've had me, my wife, 2 kids, 2 dogs, and some stuff all in here at one time. It can get a little tight, obviously, as you'd expect, but it fits great. I haven't had any issues there. The panoramic moonroof that I have in this trim, like I said, I do have the maxed out limited trim, is absolutely awesome. The kids love looking out the roof as well, so that is a plus for entertainment purposes while driving. I find that I don't have the window open very often, as if it's nice out, it's my preference to have the rear window down instead. But I usually always have the shade open unless it's a super sunny day and it just gets really hot in here and you got to close it for that purposes. But that back window, Toyota Tundra specialty, is just absolutely phenomenal. That's something I love so much on my 2015 Tundra. They better never go away with that. I use that thing all the time when it's warm enough, and even if it's not quite warm enough, I'll crack it back there just to get some airflow in here if it's just me in here driving to work or something. You know, one of the biggest questions I always get is in regards to the engine. Obviously, Toyota on this new generation went to a V6 engine, twin turbo on this Tundra versus the V8 that has been forever on the previous generations. And I gotta say, I absolutely love it. I mean, the power, the torque, the response you get from this engine is just tremendously noticeable in a good way versus the previous generation. Coming from somebody that has owned both generations, I'm not just saying that, from other people's experience. Something that is not really improved versus my V8 is gas mileage. I'm getting about the same. I usually average about 14 miles per gallon. Right now, as it's been colder in Minnesota, that's definitely dropped around to 13 as I'm remote starting and warming up the truck as well. That's what my average is showing. As it gets warmer back into the summer months, I'll expect that to bump up closer to 14. And granted, I do have the aftermarket wheel and tire setup with 35s as well. Obviously, that takes a hit on gas mileage. But if you're looking to buy something for good gas mileage, don't buy a truck, plain and simple. As far as the reliability on the engine goes, I'm 17,000 miles in, a year of ownership, and I've had no issues. I've gotten my routine maintenance done 3 times per the Toyota maintenance schedule, and it's all covered in your first 2 years of ownership if you buy a new Toyota Tundra. And there's been nothing abnormal with my truck. I haven't noticed anything go wrong. It drives like a dream, and I'm hoping that will continue through the next 17,000, the next 17,000, all the way to 100,000 and beyond. So I have a good sample size as far as the reliability of this generation versus my previous, because I haven't had anything go wrong in either case. My last visit to Toyota service, they did say next time I will likely need a new engine air filter. Granted, I have driven more than the average amount in a year, so it doesn't surprise me too much that I need that new filter. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is go with the TRD filter, which you can then clean out and replace versus just buying a whole new filter every time. Maybe I'll make a video on that in the near future if I decide to go that route. Now, as far as doing trucky things with this truck, like hauling and towing, I do quite a bit of hauling when I'm getting house materials or loading the back with weightlifting equipment. Maybe I'll talk more about that in a different video. And I've had no issues with the truck bed itself. That new finish that they have in there has held up pretty good. I think at some point, a couple years down the road, I'll probably do a Line-X spray and liner or something along those lines just to make it look brand new and increase the durability and grip. I will say that it's super slippery back there unless you have a bed mat or something, which I do have a bed mat back there now. But if you have stuff back there in just that stock factory finish in the bed, it's going to slide around. There's not much you can do about it. You're going to have to get something to prevent that. I pulled the trailer 2 different times, and it doesn't even feel like it's on there when you're hauling with this thing. It tows like a dream. I don't have anything personally that I tow currently. I used to have a boat. I don't have that anymore, so I don't do a ton of towing, but I helped a friend 2 different times tow his trailer, one time to the dump and one time to move. And again, a seamless experience. I've driven a lot of trailers in the past, and this thing drives as well as any while hauling a trailer. One more car, and I finally get to enter the car wash, get this thing cleaned up. Okay, so I've said a lot of pretty good things about this truck so far, and it's true. I love the truck. I don't regret anything about buying it. I don't regret spending the money. I love it. It's great. It's an incredible family hauler. I love driving it. I love the looks. It does everything I need and more. Overall, wonderful experience so far. But it wouldn't be a completely honest review unless I brought up some stuff that I don't necessarily love about the truck or things that I think Toyota could improve on in the future. First, I do want to bring up that wind whistle that does come from the driver's side mirror and or window function here. This is something that I brought up in a video early on things that I did not like about the truck right when I first got it, and it's still there, though I've gotten used to it. I haven't made an effort to fix it. I've seen some people say you can bring it to the dealer and they'll replace the mirror, and sometimes that fixes it, sometimes it doesn't. I haven't done that. I might bring it up next time I go into service because it would be under warranty, but it seems like a lot of hassle to replace the mirror just to fix a little whistle when I pretty much have gotten used to it. And most of the time I'm listening to music anyways. Again, just a nuance that it seems like a lot of people have dealt with, and sometimes there's a fix, sometimes there isn't. I brought up a few videos ago, I was going to maybe make a video on trying to fix it myself. I haven't gotten around to that yet. Maybe I still will, but long story short, I've gotten used to it. It doesn't really bother me anymore. I'm listening to music most of the time. I don't think it's fixed itself. I just think I notice it less because it's been a year since I first experienced it in the truck. So that's that. Something that Toyota definitely needs to improve on as they release new trucks. Maybe the 2025 doesn't have it anymore. I don't know. But a little annoyance that I've gotten used to. Maybe I'll still try and fix it. It's a minor thing. Again, nothing wrong with the mechanics of the truck itself. Just a nice wind whistle coming from the driver's side mirror window combination area. I can't really quite put my finger on exactly where that's coming from. I mentioned that all the tech in this truck I love a lot, and I really do. I do have the wireless charging here. I want to bring up about that it really charges really slow. I have a cord in here too because when I really need to charge my phone, you got to just plug it in. It plugs into the cord there, charges way faster there than it does with the wireless. You know, I could drive my 20-25 minutes into work and have it on the wireless charger, and it might move a percentage point on the battery. So it's nice to have, maybe just to hold it there on road trips when you're listening to music and want to keep the charge, but it's not really a fast way to charge your phone, at least in my experience. Again, I've read that some people have different experiences there, and some charge faster than others, which is kind of weird, but mine charged pretty slow. So just wanted to bring that up for you guys as you're thinking about if you want to put the wireless charging in or not, if you're ordering a truck. It's cool. I don't really use it that often though, because I'll just plug my phone in if I want to charge my phone for real. Touch-free, guys, always touch-free. Don't want to scratch that paint. Another piece of technology in this truck that I love, but has something that I think could be a little bit better, is the JBL sound system. It pumps, it's great, I love it. I'm a musician myself, so I appreciate a good sound system in a truck. It does sound really good. When I first got the truck, I mentioned that I thought it was an improvement versus the previous generation of Tundra in that the doors don't rattle as much when you have it turned up or when the bass hits, etc. But after about a year of listening to music on it, it rattles the doors quite a bit. Now, what truck sound system doesn't? But just wanted to clear that up. On my previous generation, I actually took the door panels off and I put in some felt dampening pieces on several locations of the door to fix that door rattle, and it drastically improved any rattling when music was turned up in my 2015 Platinum. So there's a possibility that I might do something like that or experiment with that. I mean, it's just popping off plastic pieces of the door panels and putting in felt padding on the insides to dampen the noise. So we'll see. Maybe I could make a video on that and see if I can get any improvement there. But overall, the sound system is great. Just wanted to point out that it does rattle a lot when you have it cranked up, if you like listening to music loud, but nothing new for a car stereo system, but just a call out versus things that I've called out in the past on this JBL system. You hear a lot of people talk about the turn radius in these new Tundras being absolutely terrible and super wide, and it's true. The turn radius is wide. I feel like it's wider than my 2015 was. But at the same time, if you're driving a truck, you can't expect it to turn like a Prius. I don't know. So I haven't had a personal problem with it, but I can see where people say that it's too wide of a turn radius or they wish it was a little better. I can see that. I can understand that comment, but personally, I don't really care. Just take that into consideration when you're turning around or parking or whatever, but I haven't had a problem with it personally. here we go, guys. We get to enter the car wash finally. And yes, a question that I do get often is with the 3-inch TRD Lift Kit and my 35-inch tires that I do have on this truck. And again, if you want more details on that setup, you can go check out the other video specifically on that setup on my channel. But the question I get often is, do you fit in the garage? Do you fit in the car wash? Do you fit in parking ramps? And anything with a 7-foot clearance or higher, yes, I do fit. So this car wash has a 7-foot clearance. And I also select the touch free. This is just a quick trip gas station by my house. I am gonna put the mirrors in. Car and park, a touch-free car wash, 7-foot clearance. This is the car wash that I use primarily because I like it because it's touch-free, it's close, it's convenient. When I'm not washing the car myself, this is what I do use. So it works out great. And yes, I fit. My garage is a 7-foot clearance. I fit, again, it's by a couple inches. I estimate I'm about 6'10" to the top of the fin here with the setup. So hopefully that clarifies any questions you guys have there. But yes, you can fit in garages, you can fit in the car wash. Here comes the soap. Best part, triple foam. All right, guys, I'm gonna finish up this car wash, drive home quick, give you guys my closing thoughts on my first 12 months of ownership with this truck. All right, we made it back, made it through, much cleaner than we were before. I'm not gonna bother doing a full detail. This is just a fake spring that we get in Minnesota before winter comes back, reality sets in, and the real spring doesn't get here towards the end of March or beginning of April. So I'll wait for that to do a full detail on the truck, but there we go. Hope you guys found some value in me talking about kind of the first 12 months of ownership on this truck, things I like, maybe some things I don't like, just my experience overall. I like to try and answer any and all questions that you guys ask on my videos, so please ask questions below if there's something that I didn't mention in this video or in any other videos that you want to know about in relation to this truck, in relation to me and my life, whatever it may be. Just ask it below, drop a comment. I really appreciate the engagement from you guys, and I'll be happy to respond when I get a chance to. A non-truck related informational statement on things to expect on this channel. I dropped my first video of my personal finance series last month. Personal finance and helping people take control of that is something I'm super passionate about. So I'm going to continue releasing videos there. The next video coming out is going to be an initial guide for beginners on saving and investing. If you guys are interested in personal finance at all or know somebody that is, feel free to refer them to the videos. I'm going to try to really provide some insightful information from my experience and other people's experience in my lives that are successful on how to attack your personal finances and really just take control. It's just a big passion of mine, so I want to make a video series on it. Coming up on the channel, you can expect more truck videos. I got some things in the pipeline for both comparisons for this gen and the previous gen, being an owner of both. More reviews and milestones as they come along. I got more accessories coming up and modifications that I'm going to do to this truck that I'm super excited about, so stay tuned for that. And apart from that, I'm going to continue to post videos that I want to post videos about. You'll probably see some DIY stuff, maybe some lifestyle vlogs. My family and I may be moving soon in the next few months, so stay tuned for that. I could do some content there. I'm going to expand my content to multiple horizons of things and genres I'm interested in, give you guys more insight about myself, and just have fun while doing it. So appreciate you guys here. Stay along for the ride. Appreciate the likes, the comments. Appreciate you guys subscribing. This is just the beginning. See you guys in the next one.
Comes around, oh, the frequency different now. I was going through different rounds. Hey, it's crazy, the progress is hitting now. Ain't no sitting and lost and found. I found what I lost in a minute now. I was on the wrong path, I admit it now. My only option was to get it now. I got it on both and I learned from the losses.